Glamour.
Grit. Glamour.
Grit. Glamour. Grit.
Okay, so normally I feel like we have a lot of fun on here. We don't take ourselves too seriously, but I do want to talk about something I feel that is very important. Well, it's just a good reminder for everyone. Please brush up on your CPR knowledge. To make this easy, Texas Health has a website with a very fun video with a bossy coach that breaks down the CPR process and reminds us that hands-only CPR is simple to learn and easy to do. It might be the first line of care you can provide somebody, even a child, during what can be a very scary situation. No one ever thinks it could happen to them or their family until it does. That's why Texas Health is asking all of North Texans and everyone who listens to be Braver Lifesaver. Check out the videos today at braverlifesaver.com or go to texashealth.org.
Hey, y'all, let me just interrupt for 1 second. I got to tell you about something. As someone who's out on the road a lot, having the right gear makes all the difference. That's why I've got a UWS crossover box on my truck. It's my favorite thing I own. I don't want to live another day without it. It's more than just having extra storage space for your stuff, which there's a lot of. It's about having reliable organization you can trust each and every day. Listen, these boxes are assembled right here in the good US of A, and you can feel the quality every time you open that rigid cord lid. If you're looking to upgrade your truck with the best, head over to the UWS website at uwsta.com. Find a dealer and get yours installed today. Trust me when I say your tools will thank you. Okay, we are Monday, live, up and running.
Celebrity Monday, my favorite day.
I know, and I just feel like you're in your element right now with who we have. Today's actually special because we've got our guests in studio with us. They are here.
So they're having to listen to us intro
as
show.
If they weren't here, but they are listening to every single word. As I said, I know you're in your element, and this is very exciting.
I feel like my voice sounds so sexy today.
Well, you should.
I think the listeners will be so happy I don't sound like my normal self.
Well, let me just kind of give a little brief intro to who's sitting across from me right now. We have two incredibly incredible women who I feel like are way too cool for me to be in this room with all three of you right now.
Definitely too stylish.
Definitely too stylish. We've got Courtney Kerr. She is a TV personality, fashion influencer, OG blogger, best known for starring in Bravo's Courtney Loves Dallas.
Which was literally, besides Real World, one of my first reality obsessions in life.
So this was when we first met, right?
And we'll get into it, I think, beforehand.
Okay, amazing. And she's gained popularity through her fashion blog, What Courtney Wore. She's built a career in social media marketing, brand partnerships. Her style is flawless, and I can say that with all certainty right now because I'm looking at her. And we also have Tori Bradburry, who's an entrepreneur, lifestyle influencer, known for her work in fashion, beauty, and wellness, founder of the Tori Bradburry brand, which includes popular blog and social media presence focused on style, travel, and self-care. Also has a jewelry line, Tori Bradburry Jewelry. Sainty,
which is the most epic jewelry too.
Just let's get right in because I know you're itching over here and we're about to have a lot of fun.
Oh my God, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Quite the intro.
I know. I'm like,
we're going to be a big disappointment.
Can you send that to me so I can put that in my Instagram bio?
Y'all, is that not so awkward though, that part where
having
you just have
someone read your bio is very uncomfy.
And it just makes you you're like, oh, did I write that? The worst is when I have to write my own bio and send it to them and they read it verbatim and you're like, I am an asshole.
Well, and but if you read your own bio, you can say it in the way that it sounds in your head.
Yeah.
You would put a different emphasis on a different syllable.
Completely. Like Eric with the Bradburry. He always says
Bradburry.
names weird, like Courtney Kerr. You just did it to Caroline Stanberry. I was listening. You're like Caroline Stanberry. Like you always
Maybe
are
because
so
in my
nervous.
head I'm like super nervous of messing it up.
Yes. So you're
I
like, so
appreciate it because
intense.
everyone always says Bradbury. So thank you, Eric, because you said it the correct way.
Thank you.
Burry.
Thank
And I love
you.
it. I was like, here we go. It's
like
going to be a berry.
Burberry.
I still
Yes.
call you Tori Gonzales.
She is like,
To me, you're Tori Gonzales.
no, anytime she's like trying to get my attention, she's like, hey, excuse me, Gonzales, and I'm like, oh, my husband's
Thank
like,
you.
she knows you
And
have
then
my
her
last name,
husband
right?
doesn't even call her Tori. He
No.
calls her Victoria,
That's my name.
Oh.
Yeah.
even though her first name is actually Andrea.
It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
Well, that's like me, Molly St. John, and I've gone by Sainty since I was born. I
Wait,
feel
your
like
name's Molly?
Yes. Do
I
you
thought
know-
your parents were just like really forward and really like advanced and had this cool.
I was like,
before
thank
Kim
you.
Kardashian.
100%.
Because you know they call her son Sainty.
Yeah.
So I have like Kris Jenner and everybody saying like, I love you, Sainty. And I'm like, love you.
I've actually never met a Texas woman or man who goes by the name they were born with. Like, I feel like everyone either goes by their middle name
A
or a nickname.
nickname.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
like, like our daughter's Molly Morgan Nelson. Well, she goes by
By
Momo.
Molly Morgan. But
Like
so
everyone I
Molly
know.
Morgan's the fifth Molly. So
Okay,
my-
this is a family name.
It's a family name. So
Okay.
my great grandmother, my grandmother, my mom, myself, and my daughter are all Molly's.
Wait, but I love Sainty because that could also be your grandma name. So I have started thinking about, my husband got me really into thinking about what kids call the grandparents. Like, or if you don't think about it in advance, you don't get in front of this, you're going to get stuck with like Pappy or
like
Mimi or
100%.
My mom
Grammy
is
or,
now Ho Ho.
I love that. I think Ho Ho is adorable.
She was
I
supposed to be Moppers.
love-
We've called her Moppers forever, but now she's Ho Ho.
These are, we like cool names.
Yeah, I want a cool grandma name. So when I met Kyle's kids, they were like 6, 7, 8 years old. They were like, "What do we call you?" And I was like, "Don't call me Miss Courtney. I'm not your nursery school teacher. Call me Coco." Because that's what my
Oh, Coco's
goddaughter called me.
perfect.
And then Coco will be my grandma name. Well, then Kyle was like, what's my grandpa name going to be?
Yeah.
He goes by Jefe with all of our littles.
Jefe.
So it's Jefe
That
and
means
Coco.
boss in Spanish.
Oh, that's badass.
Is he Hispanic?
He is.
I did not know that.
He's a quarter Hispanic.
Oh, I love him.
His grandfather was 100% Hispanic.
I really did not know that.
Yeah.
And is Pat Green, isn't he one of the investors?
Pat
in-
Green is one of the investors
Okay.
in the Rustic Dallas.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're dear friends of ours.
Yeah.
I love them.
We love them.
I have got to go. Can you believe I've never been? I have got
Y'all
to get
have
myself
to
out.
go. Yeah, y'all need to.
Yeah.
Literally,
you have to
all
come.
I've been to in Dallas, I think restaurant-wise, is what is it? A restaurant there that we always go to?
Oh, Drake's.
Drake's. And
I literally
Ball.
could walk to Drake's from my house.
No way.
Oh,
Any
I
special
love it.
occasion we had, like Valentine's
Because
Day.
that's all I know, and I'm like a creature of habit.
Okay.
Same.
Like if I don't like to try new things.
Nope.
So
I go
you
to the
just
same
text me
places.
next time and
I
we'll
would
get you
die.
somewhere else.
Oh my God, I would
You need
love
to
it.
expand the palette.
I really do. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
You've
My
been to
wife loves
Mutts.
salads.
You've been to Mutts.
Oh, you like Mutts? Oh,
I
yeah. Mutts
love
is
Mutts.
Kyle's restaurant too.
And that is so big.
Yeah.
And
You
that's
know that
like,
there's one in Fort Worth.
Yeah, that's the one.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one
Yeah,
we
I
went to.
haven't been to the Dallas one.
Okay.
I've been to the Fort Worth
Their
one, 'cause that
burgers
was
are
like,
so
Their
good.
burgers
So
are so
good.
good. And the
Like,
chicken
so
sandwich is
good.
amazing.
That's what everybody says.
Wait,
they say
real
you go
quick,
there for the
before
food.
we get like crazy into all of this, I need to know where the concept came up for Mutts and like how they came to be because I'm a huge dog guy, and I've never seen
Oh,
it
it's
anywhere
genius.
else.
It's genius.
I mean, I was a fan of Mutts before I even met Kyle. Like, I would go there with my dog because I thought, oh, if there's like a single guy to meet, like if he's be with
Tons
his
of people
dog,
do
that
that.
it feels like there should be a reality show about like dog
Mutts.
people who meet at Mutts and like relationships. It's like Tinder for a dog park.
Most eligible mutts.
Yes.
So
Most
how did that come?
eligible.
It was just an idea of like, where do all these dog people go? They all want to let their dogs just run freely. They don't want to pick up after their dogs, but they also maybe want to like have a beer
Yeah.
while they're letting their dog run
And have it
around.
legal.
And so, yeah, exactly. And so they wanted to put Mutts in areas that's like has a lot of high rise buildings where all these people did need somewhere to take their dog. Because they can't just let your big dog run around your apartment or run around the
No,
little.
that's what we had our big dog in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but you would sit and talk for hours at the park because that's all there was to do.
But he's like, how great. You can like let your dog run free. The bark rangers will pick up after your dog and
So awesome.
tend to
Bark
the park.
rangers.
I know,
Well, it's a
that's so-
club too. So I mean,
Yeah.
like there's like a membership.
Your dog's
and you'll
the
go there.
member.
Like Chapo's a member.
Wait, y'all, I
and your husband like
understand.
founded this.
Yes.
Yes. So those of you who are
Kyle,
listening,
you're welcome.
Mutts is this.
We're doing a hard promotion for you, Kyle.
But it's just so
Nice.
cool, and it
Nice
needs to
plug.
be in every city across the
Sponsor
world. I
next
swear to
season.
God.
I'm so glad we drove all the way to Fort Worth to talk about my husband.
No,
I can't
y'all
not.
Literally, everyone likes him so much. I mean, you like him more than me.
I mean, me and Kyle have happy hours.
y'all,
Like
there's
he and I used to
nothing
talk
better.
when they started dating. Kyle and I would be like, "Hey, like let's meet up." She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm busy." Me and Kyle are gonna go meet up at Mikasina, and she's like, I'm like,
Can I
it's a
go?
friend thing. Sorry.
I literally like,
You're
can I
not-
come meet you? They're like, no, we're hanging out.
But don't you think it's like so much better as a best friend? Because your best friend's my best friend. And I think it's easier sometimes for the person, like the new partner, to understand you coming
1000%.
through the best friend. Because sometimes they could come on harsh, but if like Shelby explains it to you, I think you're able to understand it a little better,
100%. 100%.
which is so nice.
Now, I'm curious because both of your husbands are not in the limelight. They're not in, in front of the camera like you guys are. You've both been on reality television, the whole thing. How was that adjustment, meeting them, having them be so separate from what you do, and them kind of being pulled into it? Was it crazy? Was it
like
tough?
a big
Was
social media presence.
So Josh he got an Instagram because I made him one. Like he is rather be in the woods any day or on the lake. Like he's not into social media and he didn't even know about the show, but I grew up with Josh. So we've known one another since we were 7. Him and my brother were best friends.
No
Yes. And so,
way.
but we never dated. I mean, there was little flirtation, but fast forward to the show, I think the show was over. Me and Josh started dating in 2017. And people were kind of like we go out to dinner and someone would be like, "You're Tori. Oh my gosh, or I love you and Courtney's friendship." And he's like, "How do people?" And I told him, and he was like, "You're joking me." I was like, "No, I'm being serious." And so we watched like one episode, and he was like, "All right, that's enough."
I can't do
He
this
was like,
anymore.
"I've had it." But when he met Courtney, like we didn't say anything, and I think that he's jumped in he's done great. Like he loves it because he's proud of me because it's led to our jewelry business and other really cool opportunities. So he's leaned in big time. Like, I mean, he's such a big fan of it now because of all the friendships that we've made and, connections that we make and relationships that build. So he's like, yeah, like, let's do it. Especially when he's like, let's go to a free concert. And he's like, free concert? Yeah. He's like, keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Yeah, he's in it for the perks.
Yeah.
That's
There's
cool.
nothing better.
No,
That's the
I
reason.
mean, oh, he loves it. He's like, free cowboy boots. He was like, yeah, go.
All day, every day.
He's like, I'll hold the phone. Do it again. Do it again. He's like, you could do it better.
Looking for a night of unforgettable entertainment? Then it's time to experience Casa Manana Theater in Fort Worth. From Broadway blockbusters to heartwarming classics, Casa Manana brings the best of live theater right to your doorstep. Feel the excitement, the magic, and the drama as world-class performers light up the stage. And guys, you even have a week left to see 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, playing till December 23rd. And don't forget my literal favorite, playing till December 22nd, Christmas with Kenny and Dolly. I am literally freaking out. Get your tickets today at casamanana.org.
That's
No,
so
it's so
awesome.
true. But it is so wild because I feel like in Texas especially, even if you aren't in the limelight, I always call it like Cheers. Like you want to go where everybody knows your name.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's everybody knows each other.
In
I mean,
Texas,
it is
Texas?
kind of insane, especially Dallas-Fort Worth.
Dallas is
I would say so,
small.
yeah. Dallas is like the biggest, smallest city.
That's what I always say about Fort Worth. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost scary. And it's so bad for Eric, but I'm like, you can't just like be normal. It sounds silly, but like he would go and run with like shirtless. And I'm like, Eric, all the neighborhood kids are talking about you.
That's
like,
awesome.
They all think it's like hilarious that like Mr. Eric.
I'm like, what?
goes-
Because I'm the only guy that doesn't have a dad bod on the street. I'm like, I gotta rock that.
You should.
That's what I thought.
If Courtney always tells Josh, I can't hear you with your shirt on.
No, well, and he's a good-looking man, Josh.
I'm not.
I mean,
Josh
he's
is
I mean, I would,
Josh is a hottie.
I
He
would
is
truly
so cute.
direct a firefighter
She makes him blush all the
calendar
time.
for him. Like, I will be his
Oh.
publicist. Like, I'm like, why do
Amen.
you not make him wear less clothes? Like, tell him to take his shirt off, get in the pool.
Like, go do things.
Get out of the pool slowly. Like, if my body looks like that,
Oh, I
mean,
would too, baby. All day, every day. I'd be naked.
Hey,
That
you gotta let the man run
let the
without his shirt
man
on.
live.
y'all, and he does do shirt off all the time too. If
No
you ever
shirt.
follow him,
Why
Instagram,
should I have your
How
shirt
else
on?
you gonna
Take
get
it off,
color on
prove
yourself?
it.
I know. I was like,
You're
he
lying.
loves it.
Where's that tequila again?
Yeah, I was like,
I know,
tequila
let's go,
shots.
baby. Oh my God. Okay, wait. So I want to start at the very. How long have y'all been best friends?
It'll be 20 years in 2026.
She's she's
Wow.
great with all that.
I
How'd
can
y'all
remember
meet?
everything. If I ever say
That's
I can't remember
Texas.
something, I'm totally lying to you. I can remember everything. We both went on a single date with the same guy, not at the same time, but like we both went on just a date with him. And
He's a friend of ours.
he's a friend of ours now. Like we are still friends with
Yeah.
him. And he was like, okay, I'm not going to date Tori. I'm not going to date Courtney. They're not for me, but they're for each other.
They're gonna date each other.
He
100%.
literally set us up and was like, y'all need to meet. Y'all would be best friends. And he was like, I am attracted to both of y'all's energy. And I can't believe y'all don't
What
know
a
each
cool
other.
person.
What a
Yeah.
cool
Oh, he was
Yeah.
great.
dude.
Like
Yeah.
he was like, "Hey, let's meet up. So I want you to meet someone, and her name's Courtney, and I feel like you're pepper, she's salt, and I think are gonna be best friends."
that
And I was
it.
like, "So is our date done?" I was
Yeah.
like,
So
He
You don't
made
wanna
it
be
very
with me?
clear we were not going
Yeah.
to be his soulmate,
Yeah.
but we were going to be each other's soulmates.
I was like, "This is the coolest
Yeah.
ending to a date I've ever had in my entire life."
Yeah.
And we met, and well, actually, no, we didn't because we ran into each other because we both
At
just
Primo's.
no when we yeah, I mean, was it
At
Primo's?
Sweet?
AM PM.
Oh, that's a flashback. This
was a
is a
club.
club that used to be at the bottom of the Jewel Hotel.
You're kidding.
We're with other girlfriends and we bump and we're like, hey girl. And she's like, are you with so-and-so? I'm like, no, we broke up. She's like, no, me and so-and-so broke up. And I'm like, wait, Charles
We were
has been-
single at the same
Yeah.
time, and then it was
the whole whirlwind began.
Yeah.
And what were you doing at this time? Like what career-wise?
I was in sales.
Amazing.
Like I was in sales, corporate America. And I mean, we weren't, there was no show. Most Eligible wasn't even there
no,
yet. Like it
there
was
wasn't
so
even
early on.
Instagram. There was
but
barely
you were
Facebook.
like blogging.
Yes. No, I wasn't. I
Yeah.
was working retail.
I did not wear.
Where was I at?
Sunglass Hut.
No, I wasn't at Sunglass Hut then. I was at Madewell.
Oh,
I
is
thought
that?
you were Sunglass Hut.
No, I used to call you from that Madewell phone all the time at your old office.
Y'all, and that crazy thing about I worked at Bath and Body Works.
No, you did not.
Shut up.
Y'all,
Country
I did it for
apple,
the perks.
Sunripe
Country
and
apple,
raspberry.
in
Juniper
Ohio.
Breeze.
I was like, good old, all my favorite, and Vanilla Bean Noel.
Vanilla Bean Noel.
I did it for Vanilla Bean Noel.
If my
just so I
mom-
could keep on going with it.
Every year, Moonlight Path was on her. I was like, Jane, we need you to switch up this sound. Like Moonlight Path, like
I can't walk by a Bath and Body Works now. It just smells like a baby prostitute. It smells like a strip
It
club.
No,
hurts.
it's so
It
sad.
hurts.
When Eric knew that I was doing financially okay when I promoted myself from Vanilla Bean Noel to Nest. He was like, oh, because I do holiday
Your
candles
kids-
24/7.
Well, and
no
just
matter
like
what.
the fragrances at Bath and Body Works, if you're spraying body fragrance out of a plastic bottle, like if it's not in a glass
you
bottle,
maybe don't need it.
Maybe, yeah.
Hold off.
Wait, can I sidebar real quickly?
But like Bath and Body Works is like for your nana, like all nanas and meemaws and
it's for
like
no, it's for
nanas.
like the 12-year-old who
like
is like
young kids
yeah,
too.
like after volleyball practice.
yeah. Anything's better than Victoria's Secret Love Spell. Like now that is a baby prostitute.
and I was
or
too
like a
fat
Britney
to wear
Spears
Victoria's
fragrance.
Secret. And
Like
I always
Vic-
thought it
like-
was so cool.
No,
It's like all the shorts. And,
Love Spell is
My
like
mom
daddy
wouldn't let me
issues.
shop at Victoria's Secret.
no, that moppers didn't. That was
No.
like the secret. It's like when you go to the mall, like
Oh, yeah.
malls. God, I miss them.
I love a mall experience.
I love a mall. I am a mall girl. I'll even go to our Hewlin Mall. Have you ever been to Hewlin Mall?
Girl,
Of
I grew up
course,
in Fort Worth,
yes.
Texas.
Oh, then you know our Hewlin
yeah,
Mall.
Hewlin
Ridgemar
Mall's
Mall, Hewlin Mall,
Ridgemar Mall was
North
the
Hills
best.
Mall back in the day.
Oh.
I worked at Contempo there. Where else was there? Northeast Mall.
Yes. Well, and now I feel like North Park really isn't a mall. I mean, that's an experience.
It is an experience.
Yeah.
I love a mall. Kyle makes fun of me because anytime we travel internationally, I want to go see like the department stores and the malls. Like I'm just very interested in the customer experience, like from a shopping perspective. Like
And the styles and like what it's
and
like.
how they decorate and how they, organize. Like, why is shoes on this department? Why is lingerie on this department? Why is men's next to the bar? Like, I'm just very fascinated by
Very
a
smart.
retail landscape.
Okay, quick question about retail. Speaking of like selling Most Eligible Dallas.
Oh,
How
God.
did that come about?
So I had just gone through a breakup with a guy who I dated for a couple years, and he broke up with me during the countdown of New Year's.
Oh.
And like, I'm talking seriously, like 10-9-8.
No, like face
And
to
he
face.
didn't have a good friend to
We're over.
introduce you to, and that's why he was breaking up. right?
I guess.
Eric, this is bad. I need you
Oh.
to listen to this.
He
Oh.
broke up with me, and like 6 weeks later, the Bravo producers were like casting for this show about Dallas singles. And I'm like, well, I guess strapping on a mic pack and just like going out in Dallas with a camera crew sounds like a great way to get over a guy. So I literally,
No, tell Eric the story though. Like y'all,
story?
And what
y'all
year are we
celebrating
talking?
New Year's Eve, and y'all are face to face, and she's like 10.
2010?
Nine.
No, it was
2010?
when I was in college. It was the hottest
Was
show. I
Bravo-
was dying.
So, okay.
Bravo
So-
was
Most
the
Eligible
almost-
came out in 2011, August of 2011.
and that was your Bravo
show.
show before Courtney Loves
It was
Dallas.
like
Yes.
before
Okay.
Southern Charm and all that was even a thing. It
See,
was Most Eligible
I
Dallas
met
and Housewives.
Sainty
Yeah.
in
and Top Chef,
2000.
and I feel like that was like it. When
we
it
were
came
the
to-
first show to be filmed actually in Dallas.
Oh
Like,
yes, I mean, and that's why I loved it because I was living in
Housewives
Ohio.
were like 5 years after us.
Wow.
We were. I mean, I really was a pioneer.
Okay, no, finish the story though, because this is
1000%.
No, so I what I don't know what part of the story you're.
The asshole
Like he
kind of
wanted
launched
to know,
this.
like they were like she's dressed up. This is when y'all were in Austin. Or
Yes, we were in
She's in Austin. I'm like, hey, love you, have fun. And she's like all glammed, and it's like face to face, and it's like 10, and she's like 9, and he's like, hey,
No.
Dead
Am I getting
serious.
proposed
No.
to?
No,
Like,
not getting proposed
tell him
to.
like how he does it.
And he literally is like, I'm not in love with you anymore, and I just don't think you're attractive.
In the background, Eric, 7, 6,
And not it's like
5,
Oh.
And then it's like, Happy New Year, and I'm like, I gotta go. I
Oh.
literally go back to the house that we're staying in with one of his friends, pack up my bag, call a girlfriend that happened to be there that weekend. I'm like, can I come stay with you? Call Tori, crying my eyes out, call my mom. She gets me on like the first Southwest flight the next morning. I'm back. I go like pack up all of his shit, leave it on his doorstep. And I literally,
Oh my
I've
God.
seen him like 3 times since
Maybe.
then.
Is he married?
Fast forward,
Yeah.
you're on television 6 months later.
Yeah,
and you're like,
exactly.
Sucks for you, dude.
Exactly.
Oh my, no, it was
Wow.
Eric. I mean, to tell you, it was the show because I was living in Ohio in college,
Where did you go to school?
At
OHIO.
Baldwin-Wallace.
Okay.
and it was like a tiny little conservatory.
That's the only
Okay.
reason I knew it was a long time ago because we met in 2013. I never watched reality shows in my life. And then we met. I'm like, well, that's our time to spend together because that's what she likes to
That's
watch.
all I
So
did.
if I don't watch it, I'm missing out on hours of time with
Yeah.
her. So from that point on, 2013 and beyond, I know everything.
Everything. No,
But-
I giggle. Sidebar too. We moved to LA, and of course it's LA. Like I'd never been to LA, and Eric gets like home with celebrities. So we move at the Grove across the street
Love it.
from the best, and so we're in Starbucks, and Eric runs into one of the Little Women from Lifetime,
Oh,
or like the little, like
Yeah.
literally they was called Little Women
Yeah.
LA.
Oh yeah, okay.
And he was like, Sainty, I have never seen you get so excited. You would have thought like Leonardo DiCaprio was there.
is that your biggest? What's your biggest celebrity sighting ever that you like?
Leo. I think we did shots with Leonardo DiCaprio. down the
excuse me. What do you
street.
mean we think? Where were y'all? Why wasn't I invited? Where
No, can you? And it was random. We were at that. Remember that
Goal.
tiny
Yeah.
Goal.
On Ventura
And it
Boulevard.
was Mark Wahlberg owned it, right?
No, the guy
was
from
it?
Entourage.
Adrian.
Not
Grenier?
Not Adrian.
Johnny
the-
Wahlberg.
no,
Mark.
the
Yeah,
other one.
wasn't it a Wahlberg?
No, it's not a
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg. I promise you. It's
Oh.
it's the other guy, short blonde.
Well, and he
Blue-eyed.
looked like
Oh, the guy that has tan freckles.
Yeah,
I should know this, y'all.
What's his name?
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
He owns
he
it,
was
but
in a,
Leo's in
Also,
there.
and he's not that. He's just not that into you. He's in that movie.
yes, yes.
hold
and he hooks
on.
up with Drew Barrymore at the end.
Him and Leo must be good friends because Leo's in that bar every
all the
Tuesday.
time. And we lived down the street from it. And so we would walk and just like go party with Leo.
What a hot tip to be like. We found out.
Wait, how
that-
tall?
and he
How
likes
tall is
Jaeger.
Leo?
Sandy goes up with
I
her
think,
like
like,
her hot friends. They're
5'9",
like, can we buy you a
5'10".
So he's
drink?
tall
He's like,
as
yeah, Jaeger, just
Yes.
straight. I don't
No,
know if
I
he
would
was
think
like
he's
in
probably
character or
6 foot.
something, but that's what he wanted.
No, remember he was all grizzly. 'Cause
Oh,
I remember
Revenant.
he was doing it for the Revenant.
Yeah.
You almost wouldn't recognize him. And it was so nice. It was gold, so it was all sports bar, so no one was ever in there.
He
It was
seems
always
like
just
someone
us.
who's not like well kept.
Kevin Connolly.
Yes,
Kevin
That's
Connolly.
exactly
that's
That's
it.
who it is.
was.
Yeah. So,
Oh my God, thank
so
you.
to go back on track.
Sorry.
Because I need to know
we
how,
totally.
how
hitting my
the
mic,
show
sorry.
came to be originally.
So
you,
Bravo was casting, like they just wanted to follow a bunch of singles. And so one of my really close guy friends named Matt was like, you should do this. I'm like, I just went through this breakup. Like, this is not a good idea. He's like, just go interview. Like,
How
just
did
see.
Matt get with these people?
I
Who
don't,
knows?
I have no idea. I feel like
Like there
Matt's,
wasn't a casting call.
No, yeah, it
they were
wasn't like
It was
a
just like
open call.
everybody was just talking about
yes.
it.
And these producers would be like out at bars and out at clubs. And they literally pulled me aside. Like, I think they said they saw me doing like a conga line through a bar. Like,
And they're like, you're our girl,
you're
baby.
in. And so, yeah. So, and then I showed up to the interview. It was the day after my birthday. I was wasted, like hungover still
course.
from the night before. Like, my eyelashes are probably like barely glued on.
Oh, y'all, and our hair. That was like you had the best hair.
But-
But like the side, I mean, it was almost like the Jessica Simpson,
It was
like
big.
extension.
It was a lot.
And your most iconic quote is like about the wedges.
Oh, yeah.
That you don't wear
Oh.
high heels. And
Cover Up
still-
bought me a wedge.
Yes, and you never ever wear a pump next to a heel.
Every
like a pool.
I have no idea what you're
You
talking
have to
about.
wear a wedge.
It goes like, it's like, you got a choice. You can either wear high heels or you can wear bikinis, but you can't wear both.
Oh, okay.
If you're going to wear a bikini, you need to wear a flip-flop or a sandal or be in the pool because you're in a bikini.
And not a wedge.
But yeah.
Or, yes, a
no, I
wedge,
said
not
I
a
wore a
heel.
cover-up, so I was allowed a wedge. A cover-up bought me a wedge.
Okay. It's too much with the heels and the
Oh
bikini
my
and,
God,
like,
but we all
way
lived
too-
off of
High
that.
heels and bikinis. Name a worse combination.
It's Vegas.
Yeah, it's Vegas.
Waitress,
it's daddy
which is
issues.
fine, yeah.
It's lots of things. I'm not going to the same pool. We don't swim at the same place.
No, we don't swim at the same place.
Yeah,
It's a different ball game. Oh my God.
Much
so
bigger.
You joined the show. You're the hit. You and Matt are all the talk. I mean, I'll never forget it. It was like, was the Bachelor was still going on at the time. It was just like something else. Southern Charm wasn't. It was the show. And you get a spinoff.
I get a spinoff.
Okay,
and
how
I'm
did
like,
she approach
How many
you?
seasons?
one and done. It was
One and
horrible.
done. Okay.
Oh, but it was so good.
It was so bad.
But
It
one
would
and
last
enough to get
now.
another show.
Yes. And then they were like, we're not going to do Most Eligible, but we're going to give you a spinoff instead. And you're going to quit your job at Sunglass Hut and you're going to start a blog. And which I'd kind of started blogging after Most Eligible because of just like the interest that people were like, what dress was that? Where'd you get that blazer?
Yeah,
What
totally.
red lipstick is that? So, but I was kind of only just doing it like on Twitter.
Because you were like the fashion
it's
girl
funny.
from the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had such a look that we all wanted.
I mean, that wardrobe
it
was
was-
brought to you by Upscale for Less.
No, honestly, yeah. I remember like she put.
Have you
all
ever
that
been to
was-
Upscale for Less? No,
No.
you have no clue what
That's
Upscale
a
for Less
secret.
is.
You just said that out loud.
I know, but when was the last time you were there?
we can edit.
We used to go to this. I
No.
don't think I can say janky, can I? Am I
Yeah.
going to get canceled?
No,
for saying
janky's
janky?
fine.
No.
Just say whole,
Wholesome. I love
not whole, like
Hole in the wall.
Hole in the wall.
hole in the
Hole in the
wall.
wall.
Clothing store down by Sam Moon at 635 and 35. And there was this store
Long
called
live.
Upscale for Less. And Tori and I would roll in there on payday with $40 and we would leave with like plastic bags of clothes that looked
But it was so
it
good.
was so cheap,
But it was good
but
stuff.
it was cute. And so then people would go like, "Where'd you get that?" And I'd be like, "Oh, some boutique in Fort Worth." Like,
Yeah.
But if it was
One of
really
a
good,
kind.
Courtney would say, "Just tell him it's vintage." Because I don't. Because I don't know. Like I'm an open book. I'm like, oh, down 635, we take a left, and then this place, and it's
It's
like
right next to
and
the
Courtney's
stripper
like,
store.
too much. Like just sometimes
say it's vintage.
Just say it's vintage, and then call it a day. Giving everyone your life story, and I'm all like, here's the number in case you.
No, me too. And I'm
Yeah.
always like,
I always tell myself, but Courtney's like, it's vintage. Like she'll like shut me up. I'm like, it's vintage.
I promise, I love it.
Yeah, I'm like, but it's so good.
Wait.
Upscale was like all the outfits that she did.
We're
was
all
like
from
on
Upscale
it,
for
so
Less.
budget friendly.
Wow.
It's
Just
No,
turned
I need
30,
to
still
find it.
rocking Forever 21. I was like, I mean,
That's
I
the
was
best.
my wardrobe was literally brought to you by Upscale for Less
Yeah.
and Forever 21.
Y'all-
I was so poor.
Well, everybody. I feel like at that age, the norm was to be, you couldn't afford things like
I
that.
don't know. Like I feel like there's been like this shift where there's girls our age that what she was doing, and I'm like, oh, you're with a Birkin, and you're doing like, and their
It's baffling
wardrobes, and
to
I'm
me.
like, where did you get this? Like it's just nuts.
No.
Like,
It does blow my mind.
It has to be like a write-off because I think about that all the time, and I'm like,
where I'm like,
my
what?
mom and dad do very well, and I'm like, moppers wouldn't even have.
No,
that. I'm
my-
like, so girl must be really raking
I
in the
was-
social media money.
I also just feel like kids now,
spending.
they don't have a poor phase.
Thank
Like
you.
I was like literally calling the bank every Thursday being like, okay, payday's tomorrow, thinking like, okay, if
We're doing
there's
the math.
$7 left in my checking account, I can go to like Taco Bell and get $1 taco.
burritos.
Yeah, like something.
Yeah, and then grade, and then have a stomach ache for 3 days. Like it's just
But
like
But I'll be
couldn't,
so
like-
skinny after.
Yes.
We couldn't fake it though. It wasn't like on
didn't
social
fake-
media
yeah.
now. It's
No.
like
Yeah, you
I feel like
can't
half the
fake it.
people aren't actually
not
owning
real.
what they have,
Or
like
returning.
they're like renting out a PJ for the day to like take pictures in it.
Yeah.
and
no,
then,
it's
like,
ridiculous.
That is so insane.
It's like
You know?
We're living
what I
in an
love is
apartment.
people are
We
like,
all live in
oh,
apartments.
they don't know, and I'm like,
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
sweet girl, I'm 42, I do know, and her and I used to like split dinner and like switch outfits and do like go to Upscale, and do all the things where I'm like, and there's so many times where I want to justify it, but again, it's just clickbait. Like they want a response and they won't get one because I know she's so frugal, very mindful of what she spends. I know how hard she works. So it's like, and then the kids now, they don't have a poor phase. Like they just,
really, that
they
is
really
actually
don't.
it's wild.
When I
It's
sat on Watch
wild.
What Happens Live after the finale of Most Eligible Dallas, I had $307 in my bank account. And I remember calling my mom, like when we found out like the week before we were going on, I was like, I need an outfit, please. And she was like, can I just get something nice at BCBG, please?
BCBG.
And I wore like a $285 like romper, and I was like, I am rich.
I'm a star.
Like watch what the rich people do. Like I thought I
This
was
is it.
like I had made it.
No, but it's actually so true because even Eric, you won an Emmy Award for Best Supporting Actor. And he was the Uber driver the next day. Not in the Uber, but like drove people in an Uber. Because I think people think like awards or seeing your face equals money. And it does not.
So I think that's helpful for more of that to be shared because now girls are going to be like, oh, Courtney did struggle. Or Tori, like, you know, like had to sell this piece of jewelry to make rent when I started. Because I started in my apartment, you know? Like, I mean, while I was filming with her. Because it was more of therapy, but I think they think you just come right out the gate and you made it. And it's like, that's
as if
not
you
the
have
story.
like no debt to pay off to, and like all these other things
no
that could be
debt,
stacked
like,
up.
I paid
like-
off my college, my tuition, like all my student loans, literally like the week before my 40th birthday. And I was like,
I did it.
I
Good
did
riddance.
it. Good for me. I'm done. 20 damn years later.
No,
Isn't that
I think
wild?
people really do forget stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I do too. I see people online and I'm like, oh my God, like how did they already get that far already? And I feel like I've been hustling for decades.
Yes.
Well, it's like the
And
best
decades.
story. Like the best story wins, and it's just a story for them. But I think that that's why people get this insecurity where they want to live through, you know, what they think. And I'm just like, no, like that's like not the way. But you know, and there's times where we want to respond to negativity or people poking. I'm sure y'all get it, but it's like I'm not even gonna go there.
I
Like
know, y'all. That's been my hardest journey through it all.
It's the
like,
worst.
I don't
through
get it a lot
people-
because
Ooh.
people know that I'm like, I'll kick your ass. Like, watch your mouth, you know? But I'm so protective over her. And I just don't get a lot, but I'm also not where she is. Like, I'm pretty, like, I'm smaller. I have a smaller audience. But I think that she's great at taking the high road. But I also love when you put
Oh,
people
I
on
love
blast.
taking the low road though. Like
No,
I love
going
sometimes
in
it's
just a
deserved.
little.
Sometimes it's
I will
deserved.
pop off on somebody sometimes, and Kyle's like, "Did we need to write that back?" And I'm like, "I probably didn't, but
But it felt so good.
it just felt good."
Oh, and I'm the queen of blocking. I love a good block. But I
Oh,
was
I like to,
No,
no,
don't
let the
block.
haters watch.
No,
I know.
Sainty, you were messing with your view count for a State 5. Stop.
No.
Unblock
I
all
know.
them. Let it ride. Let that number
them
rise,
watch
sister.
and rot
and what's
away
so
in their
sad is
parents'
I
basements.
didn't like Taylor Swift, and I did a whole thing about it. And Lord have mercy, I don't do TikTok, and I did a
They
TikTok
came
like,
for you.
oh, I have never, and I deleted it because I
It
got
was
too
bad.
nervous.
It was bad.
And I was like, I really should have kept it.
but we've
because I
come
was
full
like,
circle. Now you love Taylor
I
Swift.
love my daughter's whole birthday was Taylor Swift.
Okay, this is like our journey as women. I used to not
We
be able
didn't
to
know.
stand
We
Taylor
just-
Swift.
yeah.
I thought
I didn't get it.
I didn't get it, and I just felt like she was the type of girl that would like sit in your boyfriend's lap, like and be like,
Yes.
I don't
Or
know,
it's
just
like never
very
claim
pick me.
ownership of
Yeah.
like your own, like every guy was bad for you.
Yeah,
Like, sometimes it has to
maybe
be
it
you,
was
too.
you.
Yeah.
Maybe you are the common denominator.
It's a pattern.
Yeah. So, but then we watched Miss Americana.
You watched it, and then I came over and you're like, sit down.
I was like, sit down, give me 3 hours. We're gonna unpack all.
Like,
and
I'm
we watched it, and we're
crying.
both crying, we're dancing,
We're
and then we
singing.
went.
Don't know the words still because I'm so new.
No, I don't know a single. I know Shake It Off.
Oh no, I love
Everyone.
I
We
love
went to the
her.
concert, and
She surprised me. She was like, "Hey, don't do anything. Block off October," and it was April, and I'm like, "Okay." And then as we got closer, she was like, "I'm taking a Taylor Swift."
Oh my gosh.
Like, I lost it.
And I still didn't understand the Taylor Swift
Fandom,
mania.
Yeah.
It's just like when you think about the money that is behind this just empire, it blows my mind. Like she could sway a vote. She could sway. Well, I mean, she didn't clearly, but she
Yeah.
could
Yes,
have.
but she could have.
But she could have. Like you think about all these 12-year-olds in like 10 years, like
1,000%. It's
the
all they know.
decisions that they make based off what they saw or heard Taylor do, and
100%.
No, it is actually kind of like it could be scary in the sense of like somebody is that powerful.
yeah,
And they really are.
yeah.
No, she's
We love you, Taylor.
I'm a huge fan now.
Don't come for us, please.
Yeah.
Please never. I love you so much.
No, I
But the
love
haters came
Taylor.
for you about Taylor.
Yeah. And I learned my lesson and I deleted it. I was so nervous. See, that's been my hardest. I'm such
You
like,
learn your lesson. You didn't do anything wrong.
I know. Eric gets mad
You
at
had
me
an
too.
opinion,
You
which is
spoke
what
your
our show's all
mind.
about.
That's
It's
like was my new thing. It's like I'm learning because
Yeah.
I've always been like behind the scenes of Eric or like voiceovers, like
Yeah.
behind the scenes, but doing the podcast, like no one's gonna hate him. They always hate me. And so it's
that's not
like
true.
that's
That's
the
so
learning.
not true. That's so not true.
I'm mad at him until he takes
No.
his shirt off.
Thank you.
and she's
Same.
mad at me when I do. See how this works?
I know, y'all. Oh my God. Every time like he posts with his shirtless, I'm like, come on. I'm like,
No, you got to get that engagement. Get
I'm
those
telling you,
views
get
up.
the clicks. That gets the
I
clicks.
know.
Yeah, get some
click.
bait click.
I just always
We
feel
gotta
like
keep
it's-
the lights on, sister. And you
That's
start
right.
to take that shirt
Rumors.
off. I mean,
Y'all understand. Y'all understand. These
Y'all-
are my people.
Okay, so you joined the show and you asked Tori to join you.
Yes, I was like, I'm not doing this without Tori.
Did network say, how do you want this? Were you part of structuring it? And
No,
the
it
creative
was like, we're
process?
going to start filming this day. So get ready. And it was just, we're going to follow you around. It was so, people think it's so much more drafted and crafted but it's not.
Do you think nowadays it's a little bit more edited?
Probably.
oh
But
yeah.
no, but I do feel like it wasn't like that at all. That was really like authentic reality
Like they
TV.
she would just show up at my apartment and there were times we were like drinking wine out of like to-go coffee cups and they're like, do you have any actual like wine glasses? I was like, no.
No.
They're like, so what are y'all
Like,
gonna
we're
do
on a
tonight?
budget.
We're like, I don't know. We'll probably like stay here till like 10 o'clock and drink and then go out like and get dressed and go out at like 10:30 or 11. And they're like, so y'all are just gonna sit here? We're like, yeah. And they would just capture us doing the
Yeah.
funniest shit.
Oh
Like, I
my
mean, if we
God.
went out somewhere, I mean, you already know. Like, they go and set up there. Like, we would give them the restaurants of we would like to go and whatever restaurant.
No,
it
I have
is.
no idea. I've never done reality or been involved like that.
I think that,
Eric, like,
that
doesn't know.
it was great for her, but I did not know. Well, like I did not know all the things, like all the lights, and then
It's a lot, I
having
bet.
a guy fill me up every day, putting a mic on.
Oh,
Who
the mic.
like we love these guys. Like, I think we spent more time with our crew than we did with any of our other
own
friends.
Oh,
our
yeah, I
family.
bet.
Yeah.
And so it was so cool to hang out with them where I went like, excuse me, I can mic myself to like, get in there, George. You know,
Like,
like it's
love you,
just
baby.
like, but having to walk in and Court's like, she was so out of sight, out of mind with people. I was like doing a scan and I could not do that because I was terrified. Like we're just doing our thing and there's 9 lights set up and all the things.
and everybody's watching you.
And everyone, you
Yes.
go into a restaurant, you think about
and
any
it was
restaurant.
before the time of this.
Yeah, everyone had
Yeah, the
Blackberries. So like there
phones.
weren't iPhones also.
Of course.
So it was just straight up just
Blackberries.
We had
Oh,
Blackberries, which
so
were the
chic.
best.
And sidekicks.
So do you go
Still
on
T9ing.
like a turbo mode? Like, okay, I just got the show. I need to like try to figure out the best things I do in my life to make sure all the good stuff's on camera and like trying to organize. Like,
Kinda, yeah. I mean,
how do you navigate that?
that a lot of that was up to the producers. So they'd be like, "What do you have coming up? Where are you going? Are you going to Fashion Week? Do you have any big partnerships coming up?" You know, I was starting my blog, so it was like, "Do you need to get an intern? Maybe you should get an intern. Why don't you interview a bunch of interns?" Like, so they kind of helped me figure out what the story that was going to be told, but. You know, a lot of it also, like my mother was going through a cancer battle during that time, so we covered that.
dating. They wanted you to date.
Like they set me up on so many blind dates. So a lot of it was just like if someone would call and we'd be filming, I'd be like, "Can I get it? Can I answer the phone?"
Yeah,
and
you're
they'd be
just,
like,
like, rolling.
"Yeah,
Yes.
just go." Like they would just set up in your apartment, and you would just, I'd be like, "I'm gonna go down and get my mail now," and they're like, "Okay," and they'd follow you.
I think the
That's
coolest
crazy.
moment was when we were driving to Mimi's and the van, one of the camera guys had the door open and he's like halfway
Hanging out of the car,
hanging out of the car.
Getting
and
a
people
shot
are
of the
like
car, yeah.
freaking out and you're just ignoring it.
Did you just like look at each other every now and then and be like, what is
the
our
fuck are we
life?
doing?
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is insane.
Yes.
It would happen a lot.
I can't even imagine because it really was. This is the time, Eric, it even too is like The Hills, and it was just more shows where girls wore no makeup on screen.
And
like it just
influencers
wasn't,
weren't a thing yet. People
No.
are so used to seeing people take selfies or outfit pics or do fit checks in public or
We were still carrying
filming
phone-
things,
or
yeah.
Instagram
cameras.
had just
just launched.
Yeah.
LTK had just launched. Like so many things, like our jewelry brand had just launched. Like so many big things had launched quietly that are now our way of keeping up with people. Like stories wasn't a thing. Instagram was so new. So it was just like, a post and that was it. Now we have access to,
your entire day.
like
You could literally follow someone from morning to night on Instagram stories and know
everything
or
about their
think you
life.
know everything about them.
Yeah.
That accessibility wasn't there back then.
Yeah.
No, it is actually like so insane for me right now sitting by y'all because how many times I was in my tiny dorm room just because you wanted to be that.
Oh my gosh,
It
I'm
just
so
like
old.
you
were in your
never
dorm
saw
room?
that.
She was in her dorm room.
You were in
I
your
was in my
dorm
dorm
room?
room.
Oh, I'm so old.
No, but I was your target audience. I mean, that was it.
Great. We're hitting on Eric, who's probably 27. Keep your shirt on.
he's our baby.
No, keep your shirt on before I get
I'm like,
arrested.
I'm in my
nothing
30s.
better.
Come on now.
Yeah, you are
Does
in
that
your
help?
30s finally.
That helps, right?
You're in your 30s. That's,
He's
okay,
33.
That
Yeah.
doesn't make me 33.
Yeah, I'm 35 though. I'm 2 years older. I'm a cougar.
God,
I'm so
we were hitting
old.
on a child.
Yeah, well.
No, that's how I felt.
To jail we go.
I mean, here we go.
Now we're gonna
No,
get canceled.
But I just remember wanting. I think y'all were like everybody's best friend.
I hope so.
Oh
I
my
hope
God,
that's how
I
they
loved
saw
y'all
us.
so much.
I'm going to
It was
agree to that
amazing.
because this is what I do love. When we were talking to Andrew, Andrew was one of the executive producers, and he's also responsible for DCC, Cheer, Last Chance U,
wow.
Chef's Table. He recently came in town for the Tyson Logan Paul fight, or
Oh,
what's his name,
nice.
Jake Paul.
Eric
I
was
was
there.
there.
Oh, I was there.
Was it so
Nice.
fun?
Yeah,
It was until the Tyson fight, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, like
I told you
it was
though.
kind of sad,
yeah.
but incredible leading up to
No,
it.
it was great. But so we were talking to Andrew about it, and he was like, "What? Like, how is it now?" Because we Courtney and Kyle took us to the SMU tailgate, and he and I were just having some beers chatting, and I said, "You know what I still love about it is because usually these things die, like it's over.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is still people are like, y'all are the first reality BFFs,
We ever saw.
and we love that y'all are actually.
I mean, we're no
BFFs.
Paris and Nicole or
No,
you
but I
know.
think
yeah,
it was
but they
big for
didn't they have like a
Texas.
falling out.
They
too?
did.
I mean, they were like now they're getting back together.
Yeah.
But
I feel
also,
like
they already
y'all
had a
always-
platform. These are rich girls. We were the everyday.
For sure.
Like
Yeah,
we,
the girl
we
next
were,
door.
We were just like your two girls from Texas, just
When it
doing
made you
their
feel like it
best.
could happen to you.
Yes,
Yes.
and that's what
Like-
people are like
Mhm.
all the time.
We're just, like,
I'm Tori,
driving-
and my best friend's Courtney, and we love this. And so to this day, like anytime I post anything with Courtney, like the views go up because they love
The dynamic.
The
of seeing
dynamic.
it
Yeah,
all
they love
together.
seeing that we're still friends and
Yeah.
that we're still.
Oh, when I even
best
started following
friends
y'all,
and-
I think I was like, I needed to see if y'all were still best friends. That was like the
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
most important thing in my life.
And it's so weird because we're so. I don't think we're that different, but to people we seem different.
Oh yeah,
But our personalities are really similar in the sense that we might have different preferences about like what we choose to wear, what we
Yeah.
choose to eat, or how, we deliver a joke or what. But like our personality, like it always comes back together.
Mhm.
And it's been interesting, like through, since 2006 to now, like so much of our life has been really similar in the sense like we both grew up in like private Christian schools. We both grew up in really faith-based families.
hardworking families,
Hardworking,
no
like
silver
blue-collar
spoon.
families. Yeah. We both got married later in life. We're
Yeah.
both stepmoms
I was
now.
just going to ask about that next.
So we've had a lot of things like I think when you think of like the big arches of life,
Mhm.
have
Have been together.
been
Yeah.
together and we've been on the same kind of trajectory.
Yeah.
Which is
during
really
those
cool to do
moments.
together too.
Yeah.
And to have somebody, because don't you feel in Texas sometimes everybody gets married
So young.
So
They go from
young.
like daddy's
Right
house
out
to
the
the
gate.
sorority house to the
to
husband's house.
Yes.
Yep.
And then they have kids so fast. And like I remember I was 30 when I had Molly Morgan in LA. And you thought I was a teen mom.
Yeah.
Like I was the youngest by a ton in that waiting room.
I swear, I told my mom, I was like, I feel like I should have grown up in New York because everything's just later. Like everyone's getting married later.
100%.
Everyone's
later.
like, it's not weird to. Her and I were the only ones in our group of friends who were
Yeah.
single.
Everyone was
Yep.
still, and they were like,
and we were the oldest.
and then they'd be like, are y'all gonna ever settle down? We're like, y'all act like we're,
like old maids.
yeah. Or like that we're like
Or you
going
don't
out
want
and we're
kids?
wild.
Yeah.
Like,
y'all are going out now. I'm like, yeah, I don't have a baby
I
on my
don't- I
tip.
don't-
Like
I
I'm allowed to
can't.
do
I
that.
can't.
That is New York and LA.
Yeah.
My friends
Right.
still in LA. None of them are even married.
Yeah,
like
no.
they
And
just,
that's
Or even
and
thinking
honestly,
about
and
it.
all the ones that got married early. Well, no, I want to say half because we have a lot of great friends who are still, together, and we have some. I mean, that's just what it is. Like Texas, when you start early, like it's 50-50, right?
1000%.
But
I mean, my husband was a child bride. I joke with him all the time. He got married when he was 22 to his college sweetheart.
Kyle was 22.
Yeah. I think he had
Whoa.
just turned, or he was about to turn 23.
My sisters were so young. My brother was young.
We were so young, but we lived in New York and didn't have kids till a lot later.
so we were like freaks of nature in New York. They're all like, "What? You're married? What?
No, we were nuts.
You're
I met him
married?
at 19.
Would
I
people
was
probably go like,
21.
are you pregnant? Oh,
Well,
is
and
that why you're
everybody-
getting married?
or
Oh,
are y'all
must-
partners is the word.
I
Right,
love partners.
right,
Yeah, we were
right.
partners.
Like, oh, they're partners.
They're part-
No, we're
no.
married.
We just I didn't believe in marriage. I didn't believe in having kids
You?
at all. Never. I was going to be a Broadway star.
Yeah, she's focused on
I was
like
going to be
career,
Joan
career,
Rivers
career.
Yeah.
and have like my gay men, and we're going to live like in a penthouse, and I was going to be rich. Like
I love this journey
my
for you. I
entire
mean, I'm
life.
happy for y'all's marriage, but
No,
I love
my
this
parents.
idea.
So when I said like I met him at 19, and I had a boyfriend of 5.5 years, but I was never going to get married, and he knew that.
You were 21. I was 19, right?
Yeah, 21. I was 21. You were 19. I met him, dumped him that day,
And you're like, this is it.
and I was like, I sent myself flowers. I mean, I was like, I am getting married to you tomorrow. And
How
we're
long did
getting
y'all
married.
date before you got engaged?
Um, we were like together every single day and basically living
You wouldn't
together
date me yet.
because I was so scared because I knew I was like, this isn't like I don't just like mess around with this girl. I don't just date this girl. Like this is it. This is it. And there's no way this is it because I'm so young and there's no.
And he was in like the prime, like he was doing like a walk among the Tombstone's best friends of Ariana Grande. Like he was in the scene. And
Very
then he's
much
like
so.
this random Texan who like wasn't even that cute. Like
Oh,
thought I was like
please.
in
Oh
my
my
Betsy
God.
Johnson. Like thought I was something else.
No, what scared me the most
He
was
thought you were something else too.
I know.
1,000%. She couldn't get rid of me. But the day we met, she broke up with a boyfriend of 5 years, and that really scared me because I was like, well, now this guy's going to come
Psycho.
for me. And I just, this can't be happening. And I was really wild. I was like, you don't want to be a part of this life. Like, I'm in my
She's like,
wild
"Yes, I
phase.
do."
Yeah,
I was
she
like, I
did.
can't wait.
She was like, I'm jumping in there with you. I was like, are you kidding me? So then I had like my best friend in the world doing all the things I love to
No,
do
I remember
together.
calling, I can say this now because it's legal, like weed dealers and like buying like luxury weed. And what did I buy at that thing?
To impress him?
To impress him. He'd come home and I'd have steak on my daddy's credit card. Not my credit card, my sweet dad. And I'd have
I had no idea, by the way.
What was that thing I bought? It was
Like you're
so,
buying weed to like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
so
I'd come
much
home, she'd be
weed.
like, oh, sorry, my weed's on the counter. Is this okay with you? I was like,
Honey, I got you the good weed.
No, I did. I literally had a dealer come outside my apartment. And like it was like he'd whip out all the weed and I would like find the weed. What was it? It was like not
It was a volcano.
Volcano.
It was like this crazy bomb that blows up like a balloon. And
I found a
Sainty,
volcano.
I can't imagine.
the day I found out it was all a show,
right,
I was like,
And
all
I'm
right, we're
I
doing
am
this.
so cool and fun. I'd never even seen weed until I met Eric. I'd never seen anything. And here I was like, oh, I am going all in on your journey, baby. I was spending money like it was mine just for him.
Oh yeah, you were toking it up.
Well, so
listening
you
to
were
Willie
indebted to her at this
Nelson.
point. You're like, well, I guess I better
That's how I felt. I'm like,
put a
Eric,
ring on it.
Yeah, but I'm like, she's like, secretly, she's also best friends with my cousin at the time. So she knows everything about me and I know nothing about her. So it's like every day I come home, I'm like, wow, that's my favorite movie. And like, wow, I love.
Y'all,
like,
I hung a deer head in my New York City apartment for him. And if you know me, dead. Like my whole, but it worked. I tell
You
girls,
walk in,
oh
deer
my
head
God.
on the wall. She's playing Bob Marley, wearing a Willie Nelson
like, this is
t-shirt,
the
and
greatest
she's
day
like,
of my life.
I'm like, come on in. So I don't believe, like, what is that? He's just not that into you. My girlfriend gave me that book.
Oh, no,
and
I
I'm
don't
like,
believe that.
thank you. I'm like, I'll make him get into me. You will be into me. And you will love me. And it worked.
I mean, it was.
And we were married at
And that's
22 and
Texas
24.
for
That's
you.
Texas.
We will
We've
make
been
you
married
love us.
11
You will
years.
like us.
Gosh.
And if not, there are repercussions.
I mean, I tell Kyle, I'm like, you can't leave me. I will kill you. Like, I am not scared of prison at all.
Thank you.
At all.
That's
like,
what I
think
say.
I would do great.
Well, and I always say, if he leaves me and marries somebody else, like,
This is
they'll
good luck.
tell themselves,
Good
too.
luck, yeah.
I'm like, good, have fun with him.
Have fun with that double murder.
I'm like, just,
Have fun with
I'm
that
like-
murder-suicide.
yeah.
Cue the music. Earl had to die.
Oh my God, y'all.
Thank you. It is a Texas thing. I'm like, you don't mess with a Texas woman.
No.
And Eric didn't get it until, like, I think the misconceptions about Texas women is that we are Southern women. No offense to Southern
No,
women. They're
there's a
amazing.
difference.
There's a huge
There's a major difference between a Southerner and a Texan.
Oh my God. And he's like, Texas women, I have never in my life. Everybody has their own business. I mean, they are hard asses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, it's just a different breed of a girl.
Yeah.
And like, my dad taught me.
I mean, they're
to be
not
like that,
relying on
too.
anybody but themselves. They're like going after
They're
what
like,
they
"No, we got
want.
it."
They're like trailblazers. They're like all this stuff. I'm like, there's
It's
such a
mind-blowing.
misconception
And
with
I
the
think
South.
dad, like my dad always taught me, he was like, you go all the way. He was like, do not have kids. Go make it, sister. Don't get married. Like, you
Yeah.
happen. And then with my brothers, who's like, you better make money. And you, like, it was just more like, you need to provide.
Yes.
But for me, he was like, you go, baby. You
I
go
love that.
all the way.
I love that.
I absolutely love that.
Which is so, and he's still like that. I feel like he's like
Oh,
that with
yeah.
our Molly Morgan. Like for
Yeah.
us, like my brothers, he was like, when are y'all having kids? And like for me, he was like, yo, wait. Enjoy it. Like, go in your careers.
I mean, I would tell anyone now, like, wait.
yeah. I mean,
So
if I let's just say we didn't, like, I wouldn't have.
I'd be divorced.
I wouldn't have
I'd
been
be
able
fat.
to do the things that,
Well, not anymore.
like the traveling. Like I got to experience so many things. A lot of travel with her, a lot by myself, but like the things that I want to do because I did it. Like when I married Josh, my wish list, the bucket list for me was complete. And I'm so glad I got married later on because it stops. Like as a stepmom, I mean, Kevin's been in my life since he was a baby, since 5 months old. So I like hit the ground running. And that's really not, I mean, the kids were young.
Yeah.
And it's like you really jump in and I have friends now that are like, hey, thank you for doing all those things because I got married so early And I love watching you do those things
And live your life.
Our friends who didn't get that choice or didn't make that choice are still champions for us. They're not knocking us and they're just celebrating with us. So when we got married later on, I was 39, 38, 39?
Yeah, it was right before COVID.
Or I'm sorry, Josh and I have been married 5 years in January.
You got married in 2019.
2020. 1/10/20.
You got married right before COVID.
Yes, 1/10/20. And
and then you're stuck together.
listen to me. We got married in January and everyone's like, no, do March. I'm like, stop talking. It's my wedding. We're doing a winter wedding and we're doing it in Fort Worth and it's going to be like a speakeasy and everyone's getting Whataburger when they leave. March our
3rd,
honeymoon.
yep.
You ain't going nowhere. And Josh is a first responder, so he has to work. Like he's out there wearing a hazmat suit and I'm like, bring home more of this. You're allowed to leave. Like it's just,
You go, baby.
I mean, he and I lived together before that, but we really, we had so much fun. Like Josh.
But his son was splitting part with y'all
50-50.
and not in school. So all of a sudden you become not just like a stuck at home.
Yeah.
You're stuck at home with a child too.
Literally,
they're in your care.
Couples that made it through COVID and are still like happier or still
100%.
Still happy.
way to go. Like
100%.
I think
Completely agree.
It was make or break. That
I
was
feel
it.
like
completely
every couple should be forced to quarantine at some point in their life to see if they really like each other.
Oh,
Like-
and even we got out of quarantine. Eric was filming 1883, so we had to quarantine.
When
And
y'all
it was-
started filming that early on.
Yes, it was horror. I couldn't even hug my parents. And it's like Texas was fully opened. And here I am like, and I was pregnant and the worst. It was the worst.
Let's be honest.
No offense.
Texas.
I mean, it got open
Did we
2 weeks later.
quarantine?
No,
Yeah, we opened.
absolutely
Kyle,
not. Not
Like I
compared
feel
to.
like there were so many bars. Like we'd be like, hey, and they're like opening the curtain, like
Quarantine.
get in, close in. I'm like, thank you. We're at Applebee's. Like it's just
Yeah.
Yes. And people got it done. You still had fun.
oh yeah.
And really, what's interesting is I feel like my friends got COVID and all that first in LA.
Yeah.
Like really,
And they were the ones that were most crazy
hyper
about
and
it.
we all, or maybe we just didn't.
Maybe
know,
we just didn't know we had it.
which I feel like is the
Maybe we just thought it was
lucky way.
allergies.
Yeah. I mean,
I just thought it was Texas allergies.
No,
and we all had
it's the
that's
cedar.
still-
It's the
that's
cedar.
My, yes, that is
the
my
cedar.
parents' infamous words. We always make fun of them because I have like my sister-in-laws are having babies and like RSV season, all that. So my dad, I'll talk to him. I'm like, hey, Dad. He's like, allergies. I'm like, Dad, you're just sick. Just say you're sick.
Just say you're sick.
I have a cold. It's
they
no big
refuse.
deal.
They refuse.
Allergies.
They won't acknowledge. They will not acknowledge it. It does not get a name. My mom's side too. My dad.
It's the ragweed.
Yeah.
It's always
The
and
ragweed
speaking of your
is
sweet
really
dad,
high.
I'm so sorry.
That melon.
I've
Thank
been
you.
like, and was that like your person?
Yeah.
Too.
Mhm.
Okay, and I will, and if you don't mind, and you don't have to talk about this
Yeah.
too, is like for me, my dad. I remember calling him, and he'd be like, "Well, what did Eric say?" And it's just like I'm like, ugh. Like my dad still. There's something about like a dad too. I always say having a son and a daughter. Molly Morgan's my best friend. Mix my baby, and like I feel like that's like you feel opposite. It's like mix your buddy. Molly Morgan's your baby. Like a dad and a girl.
Yeah.
Like how has that been? Like, has it been such an interesting journey with your husband too? Because I feel like for me, that'd be
yeah.
my interesting.
Well,
That'd be probably one of the hardest journeys. Now all of a sudden, you're my mate. Like you are, but
What's funny is I remember, and what Josh always tell me, like, one of these days you're gonna leave me for Courtney. I'm like, but because her and I were so close, she was the first person I text, and she happened to text me because it was just me and my dad when he passed. Nobody knows that. Well, now they do. But I was running errands. My mom and I were meeting each other, and my dad passed with just me and him and his caretaker, who was amazing. And Courtney just said she had a feeling, and she had just texted me, and I said he passed, and then I was like. Oh shit, Josh, my dad just died. Like it was just, you're not like thinking.
yeah.
And so with him, I remember I just thank Josh because Josh and he grew up with me. So he also grew up with my dad. And when we got married, it was like my dad's happiest moment. He loved Josh. And I remember when Josh is also like, he's a first responder, paramedic. I mean, he went to medical school. He already knew my dad was like about to leave. He said he couldn't tell me that though. And when my dad started losing like consciousness, couldn't talk, one of the last conversations was him telling Josh like, "Thank you, like I'm proud of you."
Oh my gosh.
You want to take care of you.
Edit this all out, please. I don't want to be crying. So sorry. Woo. I have not cried in a while. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Are you on your period?
Yeah, I just got off.
No, but it's good. It's
Can
that's
we get
your,
some tequila? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
It's
But,
beautiful though. I mean,
that anytime that is how it should be.
Yeah, it was. I think what was great was it meant a lot to me. And then Josh was just so hands-on. He is hands-on. And he was so, he was just my guy. And I told him, I thanked him because I told him I haven't been present for 2 years. And my dad's health has been on the slope. And when this last time, like I just was not available.
It was really hard
Yeah.
for Tori because if we would ask her to do anything, or do you want to go out of town? Do you want to go to New York? Do you want to come with me to LA? She would be like, I'm scared to leave because what if he passes when I'm not here?
Yeah.
And so I think it was, and I don't want to speak on your behalf, but
No,
I
please,
feel
that-
like
that
it
makes my
was
face.
the fact that you were the one that was there with him when he did pass was
Yeah.
like his way of just like honoring their relationship and just
Yeah.
knowing, because she spent so much time worried that he'd pass when she wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact
Yeah,
that
that's
he
it.
did. And
Well
then
said, because I was like losing my thoughts for a second.
and
No,
then
and I
when
feel like
at
they
the funeral
do.
it
They
was
know.
oh yeah. No,
that's
totally.
what his little brother, the man that raised them, the little brother had finally fallen asleep, and the dad passed. Like he did not want with his mom, like your real mom, but they had been divorced since then. And so, but he finally passed when Eric's little brother was asleep, and it was like he knew.
He knew.
Like it's like they know.
And
They
Poppy
told us
and
that,
Tori
didn't they?
had such a unique relationship, and it was quite beautiful. And I sometimes feel bad for her other siblings because like everyone knew that Poppy,
I mean,
that
I'm
she
the
was his
You're his
favorite.
girl.
Oh, 100, like that was my guy.
And
Yeah.
it was interesting at the funeral. The electricity went out right when the funeral started, and there was no lights, and the microphones weren't working. And so after like 20 minutes, the pastor's like, "We're going to try to go ahead and do this without electricity," and they lit some candles, and we're going to have all our people come up here and speak, and 2 or 3 people speak, and then it's Tori's time to go up there, and she goes and she steps up to the podium, and all the lights come back on, and all the electricity comes back on, and I'm like,
That makes me cry.
I'm like, Poppy wanted to make sure everybody heard his favorite standing
Yeah.
up there at the podium,
No one-
honoring him.
oh
His-
my god!
Like it was like it didn't work. Literally the second you walk up,
Yeah.
it was pretty magical.
It
the
was
hair
cool.
on my arm is standing
Oh,
straight
I
up.
know.
That's incredible. That's
in
incredible.
that moment, it's like
Yeah.
so. I think because obviously we're all getting older, and
Yeah.
you have to think about, and especially if you have a person in your life that's been so present.
Yeah.
It's like how lucky. Like I always have that in the back of my mind, like how lucky I am, or how lucky that it had time or
Yes.
had
Sure.
this
Yes.
experience.
Absolutely.
It doesn't take away from the, horribleness of losing, but it's like how lucky that time.
Oh, and now
It's
it's
like,
like 6
ugh.
months have gone by, and I'm so thankful for
I can't
it.
believe it's been 6. I feel like it was
know.
like yesterday.
It freaked me. I'm just like, whoa, this is crazy. 6
how
months.
fast.
But also, like, Courtney, knew, like, she would remind me, like, Tori, he was 94. And I'm like, I know.
Oh.
He would have been 95. And so I'm like, this is now, it's not fun for him. And it's not fun for me because I'm just staring at someone who can't be who
That's
he
not
used to be.
been.
Yeah.
And then going back to what you said before I cried, I thank Josh, and because I hit a low point. Like Courtney came and got me, was like, we got to get her out of here. Because I hit a low point, and I left. I needed to be by myself, came back, and I was like, I thank Josh because he told me, he was like, I knew marrying you, I would be number 2. I knew Poppy was sick, on and off. I knew that I will be number 2 for a while. And I thanked him. I was like, I had no idea you felt that way, and you still chose me, and you still wanted to marry me. And he was like, well, because I love you, and I love him. And so our marriage has been just, it's different now. And now he's the only man I see, because I used to see Poppy and him, and I had them both. But now Josh is.
He finally feels like he's number one.
He should have been number 1 this whole time. But I was just like Courtney said, I was just so wrapped up in his health that I lost sight. And
What's the first love of your life?
first love of my life?
So it's
And
like, how can
yes.
you not?
And Josh loving me even more, knowing he was number 2, like I was like, you're even
What a
more
beautiful
attractive
man.
now.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like,
No, I
you're
mean,
so hot.
Josh is a literal angel. I tell this to him
For
all
real.
the time. I'm like, he would drive you to the airport. He would like move a sofa for you. He would lift anything. He knows CPR. I'm like, he is just like, he's
Mr. Man.
I tell Tori all the time, I'm like, bitch, if you screw this up, like
We're done.
He is perfect.
Josh,
he is amazing.
I'm 817.
No, he's an
I'm 5'6".
he's an angel of a human, and I'm just like, he's just he's an
him and
incredible
Courtney
person.
are great. Like she's never liked any of my ex-boyfriends. Like she's like,
Y'all, isn't that a game changer?
Isn't it
Lord
amazing
have
how
mercy.
life works out though? Like,
Yes.
This is just so. Like,
oh, they would try so hard, and she would be like, no, and
Yeah,
like
I'd
walk
I'd be like,
off.
yeah, this isn't gonna work.
I mean, I dated a
unbelievable.
guy much shorter than me one time, like much shorter than me, and Courtney was just like, hey, can you not hear me? Can you not hear me down there? I don't like
Pats
you.
on head, and
She's
we
like,
wonder why I have the nickname
What are
Courtney Kerr.
best friends for?
Well, and that has to be such a weird. That's even too. With both of y'all, you have such independent. Like that was like the shocker for my dad, was being this like independent woman.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you have this person in your life.
Yeah,
And it's like that just been such a journey.
the
I bet-
dynamic.
Yes,
yeah.
of like learning, like, oh God, like, because you do have to compromise. And that's the hard part. Is like,
That's the worst.
that is the, oh, Lord
No,
have
but when her and
mercy.
Kyle met, I was like, 1,000% your person. Like 1,000%.
Yeah.
There is nothing he needs to change because she is hardcore, done it herself, Miss Independent.
Mhm.
And I'm all in. Like, I am straight up the mafia. Like, good luck getting out. Like,
Damn.
once I choose that I love you, whether it's like my friends, my, husband, I'm like, you're never leaving. Like, I will kill you if you want to,
Yes.
if you want out of this. Like, you are in and you are mine, and I will kill anyone who tries to hurt you.
Courtney's
most
big on like,
passionate. I love that, though.
Our group is like, you wear the brand. You wear the brand.
Yes.
Like I don't need 10 friends. I need 4 quarters. I'd rather have 4 quarters than 10 dimes. Like, I'm all about value add over like just needing a lot of friends. Like,
No, that's how I am.
Amen.
I always giggle. I would be great in the mafia. I've always
Oh.
said I'd be a perfect mafia wife.
we'd be so good.
Because you'd least expect it.
Yeah.
I'm like a Taurus Gemini.
Come
so I'm
out
like,
in my fur coat.
me, and all the
I believe
heels.
it.
And you just wouldn't accept. Like, I love it when people think like I'm an idiot. And
I'm
I'm like,
like,
"Do you
oh,
guys,
that's
I'm the
cute."
brains behind all of this. Like, I always would giggle, and Eric's like, they know, and I'm like, no, but they act like I'm like a nothing. And
do
it's
you
like,
have a big group of girlfriends, or are you guys are y'all both like?
I've had my same best friends since I was 4.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's my 2 best friends since I was 4, and then my like high school, or not high school, college best friend.
And I didn't even know that existed, like the friends since like born thing, and then
Yeah.
like being
Yeah.
friends
That's
forever.
a Texan
That's
thing.
so
That's a-
Texas.
And
Like-
they are like they're my lifers.
That's my
it's like
favorite
the Kim
thing about
Kardashian-esque.
Texas.
They're my lifers. It's just like we cannot talk for 6 months, and it's like no matter what, that's the person
Yeah.
I'm going to call.
I don't
You gotta
have
call
any
them
of
first.
those really.
I don't either.
But you're probably the closest thing I have to like
You're a lifer now.
you're.
Oh yeah, lifer. But our group is like she can meet, like she can talk to anybody. I can
But that
talk
doesn't
to
mean
anybody.
we're like friends.
But yeah, I have lots of acquaintances, and I love being
Totally. I have,
but
like,
Court's
6
great.
best
Like
friends.
no, Court's like fine with Kyle, Bossy, and her mom, and me, and like I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 other girls. Like I'm talking like less than 10, because she's like she said 4 quarters over 10 dimes.
Yeah.
I'm like, but wait a minute, and Court's like, hey,
No.
quit inviting so and so, and like
I'll like
like we're fine.
I'll show up at Tori's birthday lunch and I'm like,
who are these people?
who are these people?
Oh my God,
She's
I
like,
met them
oh no,
yesterday.
I met them. They're friends with her, and so I'm like, why am why am I splitting a meal?
do a private thing.
like I would rather just pay for my own meal. Why am I splitting it 12 ways? I've never even met this person.
Oh
like,
my God.
why
Well,
does she
it's
get to be
so
in the
true.
birthday picture? Why
Yeah.
do I have to tag her on Instagram? I don't even know her.
It's hilarious.
But that's
When I
yin and
think
yang.
that's how,
That's why
like,
the
is that
relationships
weird?
work.
Like like I would feel weird. Some it's like I remember like all of a sudden when he got the show, like I'd get some phone calls.
Oh, yeah, the people come out of the woodwork.
Yes, and you're like, we're not
Tori
friends.
will still. Tori will tell this story how we were.
about the girl that didn't know we were friends.
Oh no, not that one. Well, you tell that one. I'll tell this one. When we were, I don't remember where we were eating, and the girl walked up to us and was like, "How are you? I haven't seen you in so long." And I was like, "Well, yeah, because we're not really friends."
You said that?
No,
And Tori's
that's
like-
exactly it. That's exactly it. 100%.
You cannot say that to people. I'm like, well, I just hate when people are like, "Girl,
I know,
how are
like,
you?"
hey,
I'm
So
like,
you are always black
I
and
haven't
white.
s-
Like
yeah,
either.
Okay, so that happened twice.
You will
but she
never
does it.
know how. Like, you will never be unclear about how I feel about you.
That's amazing.
And
I
it's-
wish
but
I
don't
could be
say
that
it
way.
rudely.
No,
I'm just like,
she's great.
She's like, I haven't seen you in so long, and I'm like, well, yeah, because we're not really friends.
Like I don't ever
Oh
see you.
my
Like, why would I see you?
Oh my God, there is
No,
You
no,
say
no,
what I
no,
would,
no,
I
Sainty.
think, but would never say.
So, because I'm like, kind of like in my own little world. But when I go with her, like when I'm her plus one sometimes to like the fancy schmancy places where I'm like, kill me now. Well, no, I'm kidding. I love that stuff.
You like it.
I do like it. I would never knock it. But I think it's some people that are sprinkled in that are not fun.
It always depends the vibe.
Yes.
Of, like the
Other
places.
than that, like I love being able to do these things with her. So it's never the cause. But I was hanging out, had some champagne. She was doing her thing. She had to like make some appearances. And this girl,
I think it was like emceeing the event or
and
whatever
I'm
it
like,
was.
and I'm talking to some girls who I did know. One of them walks up and she's just like, "Oh yeah, Courtney. Who are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm Tori. Nice to meet you." And she's like, "Okay, great." Yeah, so me and Courtney. And I'm like, I don't know this girl at all. And I'm like, maybe she's new. So then Courtney comes up to me and she's like, "Hey, you ready to get out of here? Like, let's go grab some." Or because I was like, "Oh, you know Courtney?" She's like, "Yeah," like kind of like did this to me. And I was like, "Oh, is there a fly?" Like I didn't, like, what are we doing? And then Courtney comes up. She's like, "Hey, let's go. We're gonna grab some food." I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." And she was like, "Courtney, oh my God, it's so good to see you. We really need to catch up." And Courtney's like, "Why? We're not friends." I was like,
Wow.
I'm just like, what do we need to
Wow.
for you?
I
You
don't
were like,
think I said it. I think I was like, what do we need to catch up about?
because we were in a
yeah,
rush
there's
and she
not.
was just like, but she was trying to like put me in my place, I guess. And I'm like, wait, what did I do? I was having champagne.
I need more Courtney in my life.
I never try
I
to make
know.
it feel rude. And Kyle sometimes will be like, "You are being a bitch." Like, smile. Like, because I'm just like, I'm not trying to be, it's not from an impolite, mean place.
No, it's actually just probably like
I feel like it's actually very authentic.
And I think
Yeah.
someone's
I don't think
probably
I should have
getting
to
humbled.
sugarcoat things like, "Oh my God, how are you? Oh my God, you look so love." Yeah, totally. Oh my God, yeah.
And
call
we'll
me.
never see
No,
each other again.
No,
It's a lifeless
Zero desire to do that.
conversation. Like we already have to
Agreed.
put our
That
best foot forward on
conversation-
Instagram. Let me be a bitch for 5 minutes. Like, let me-
Conversations
give
like
me
that
a
have
second.
zero pulse. Like, I'm just like, they do not interest me.
Y'all, I wish, first of all, I could be more like that. And I need you in my life more
know.
to help me get more like that so I'm not actually doing things I don't want to be doing all the time.
know.
If I
and
actually
talking to people
like,
I don't want to talk to.
say yes to something, it's because like I actually want to do it.
That's
I
amazing.
truly.
No,
I know.
I'll just be like,
That's
no.
She'll be like, "No, Eric's busy. That's not on brand for him. Thank you though. Call me." Like
I need her.
she'll
I need
also
that.
say,
I need
I'll
it.
say like, "Oh, my calendar's at capacity," or, "Oh, I don't really have the my social battery is just really exhausted." I'll straight up no is a complete sentence, and I will just be like, "No,
yeah,
no, thank you."
yeah, we're
My
both like, "No,
God.
thank you."
Kyle's like, "You can't say no thank you to people when they invite you to go out for a drink after dinner." No, thank you.
you should respect it.
People are like, "Do you want to go
Exactly.
grab a drink?" No, thank you.
No, thank you. Hey, you said no, thank you. That's polite.
I don't. I don't. Kyle's like,
That-
"Can you
that
just
is what
go?"
we
I'm
do.
like, "No."
Like, that's how you teach your kids. Like we say, "No, thank you," and some girls are like, "Hey," I'm like, "No, thank you."
No,
That's
Y'all,
what
we
I know.
gotta wrap this up because
No,
we could
oh
be
my
in here
God. Oh my gosh,
all
we're
day
gonna
long.
be here
Well,
till
thank
next
God
But my
we at least have
producer's gonna kick us out any second. I know it.
and I can't wait to really get in. I'm obsessed with y'all. You're
Thank you for
everything
being
I
here.
obsessed
wanted
with
you
y'all.
all
I
to
had
be.
no
Thank you for being
Like,
here.
it's everything.
Well, and now that I'm now
I
I'm
understand
finally
the
met Eric.
dynamic.
Like I understand
I
the
get it.
dynamic, and I love it. I'm also 2 years older than Josh.
Y'all, there's nothing better. I feel like I look younger, right? Sure.
Well, you guys 100%.
Obviously.
Y'all both look
I wish.
super young. Y'all are young.
Y'all,
no,
yeah,
it's
y'all
always
are.
interesting to see what people think about our dynamic too. It's like because we have grown up together, and I think a lot of the time is I'm more. Well, yeah, you're actually. I do say what I feel.
Like y'all will be
More
the
so.
cutest grandparents.
Can't wait.
We'll be great grandparents.
Can't
No,
wait.
I
We
think
will
I
be
want
great
I
grandparents.
want you to adopt me.
I will,
I
like, that
wanna-
will be my, like, I'm a great aunt.
Yeah.
I'm a great mom, but I'm a great aunt.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
I'm a
great
great
aunts.
Coco. Yeah.
Yeah,
Should we
I
glamour
feel
and grit it?
what?
Glamour and grit it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So at the end of our show, we do glamour and grit. So
Okay.
it can be like
Okay.
your glamour. So really what you were saying too is the reason we started this podcast is because 1883, everyone thought it was the best time of his life. And it was the worst time of mine. I was like 80 pounds heavier, deep in depression. My son was deathly ill. And so I just remember being like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, this is not real. Like, people need to see, like, the realness
Right.
of, like, and that's the whole reason why this whole show began, is because it was like, that's just not fair. That's not, and I went on a show and said I got on anxiety medication, all this stuff, and people were like, what? And I just like, that's live. That's,
Seems
like-
all glamorous,
Yeah.
but we've all
Yeah.
got some grit.
yeah.
so.
So that's why we ask our guests, what is your glamour? And it can be like your glamour of the day, the grit of the day.
Oh shit. I'm bad at this. You're gonna have to go first. Give me some
No.
examples.
Like what's feeling good in your life right now?
So the highs and the
then
lows?
The highs
Yeah,
and the
highs
lows.
and
So it's
lows.
your peak and your pit.
Yeah.
Yes, of
Yeah.
like a dinner
Okay.
table.
Oh, the high was meeting you guys and being here today. Just, like, being so honest, because it's the holidays, the hustle and bustle, and then
I know.
I'm
so
like, wait a minute,
appreciative.
this is like an escape for me, and you guys are so cool. So that's my high, and then the grit is just Yeah, holidays.
Yeah,
Just
all
like
the craziness.
you feel like my batteries are already on 10%. Like
Yeah.
Can't
it's
breathe.
just trying to get to the end of the year. But the glamour is you guys for sure.
That's really
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's 100% true.
Well,
That's
now I look
awesome.
like an asshole if I don't.
No. You're
honest.
honest.
Oh,
You
I
only
take it
say what
back.
you
I take it
feel.
back.
So I wouldn't want you to say it anyway.
No, but it's so like right before this, I was on my knees, like wrapping Christmas gifts.
Oh, I was having a meltdown in my closet when I was literally standing in my closet topless, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm about to put on.
Yeah,
Like,
what
do
was
I wear?
I don't like myself. I don't like today. Oh my god.
I was like, I don't like my face. I don't like my hair. I don't like the. I was like grouchy. But then I came here and I feel like we worked through it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like
When you look amazing.
turned it around. No, I would say the glamour for me, I think, is just the season. I love this season of like the events and getting to pepper in fun things like this with like then going to the Cowboys game or having a holiday party and catching up with people that I actually want to catch up with. And I just love the I don't know. I love having a reason to celebrate or a reason to throw a party or
And like happies.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the happies.
Okay, by the way, is your nail polish hottie toddy naughty?
No, it's black cherry chutney.
Okay, sorry. I had to ask because
Nice.
I was like, I kept looking at her nail color and I was like, I love that
My
color.
toes don't match right now and I'm really paranoid about it.
No one will see them. It's the holidays.
Sorry, y'all, thank
Yeah.
y'all for
Wait,
coming.
the
I have
the
to give my.
grits.
Oh, I don't know. I just get sad. I have like the like holiday hangover, like not a real one, but like when it's over.
when it's coming.
Yeah, and like I'm like,
Yeah.
but then what do we get to? But
Rodeo.
then
Come
but
to the
then
Fort Worth Rodeo.
oh, I do. Oh, don't
Love me a rodeo.
Okay. I've
love
never
the
been.
rodeo. You've never been to the Fort Worth Stock Show
And
and
we have
rodeo?
to, I mean, I've
we're
never.
going.
Yo,
We're
you're
going.
coming with us.
It used
We've
to be
gotten
at Will
we get
Rogers.
invited, but it's always like I have. There's just times where I want to do me. Like I need to check it out
Yeah.
at first for me.
But you're welcome to bring your stepson too.
Oh,
It's
I know.
so
Like
fun.
he wants to come, and I'm like,
been
I
to the
know,
Fort Worth
I
Stock Show and
know.
rodeo?
Eric rides at the beginning.
Do you? Are you
Yeah,
in the parade?
riding-
I got to
yeah.
ride in the parade once.
Are
Yep,
you
yep.
joking me?
The
Y'all,
grand entry
and
before
that's
each.
a big deal.
When I was Miss Tarrant County Teen in 1999, I got to
here we
ride
go.
in it.
Stop,
Let's go.
Tarrant County team.
Hey, y'all,
No, we
thank
need
you
to go.
so much
Okay,
for
sorry,
being
sorry.
here. We're going to run because I know our producer's got things.
Wait, do y'all
he's
know
gotta
this is
do.
our last episode of the season?
Oh my
We
God.
had to end with y'all.
Wait,
Yeah.
when does
the
this air? When
finale?
does this air?
Probably Monday.
Oh my God.
Cheers!
I was
cheers!
like,
cheers!
y'all
Cheers,
did
y'all.
the quickest one.
And my birthday is next Tuesday.
Oh my God.
is? Cheers.
What?
Yes, cheers,
It's for your
cheers, cheers.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday!
I love y'all.
can't
Okay,
do
Thank
that.
you guys so much
Thank
for being
you.
here.
I love y'all.
Thanks for listening,
I love you
guys.
guys.
We'll see you later.
Let's go to Joe T's. Let's go to Margaritas.
Glamour. Grit.
Glamour.
Grit.